once again become a hot issue. The question is whether or not it should be raised, and this question has been asked since the 30s. In 1938, President Franklin Roosevelt signed the Fair Labor Standards Act, which established a minimum wage. Its purpose, to give fair pay to every citizen working in America. From 25 cents in 1938 to $4.25 in 1993, the minimum wage has risen rapidly. President Clinton has been pushing to raise the minimum wage to $5.10, while Republican presidential candidate Bob Dole is against it. Congress just recently has voted for no raise, but the debate still lingers. Should America raise the minimum wage? Now, Wildcat Crossfire. Good morning. I'm Lenny and here with me today is Gabriel Negron. We will be discussing whether we should raise the minimum wage.
If we raise the minimum wage, inflation will go up at a higher rate, causing the prices of products and services to go up with it.
Well, actually, if you're speaking about inflation, which happens anyway in our American system, people working on minimum wage are below the poverty level. $4.25 an hour is worth less today, and we have to adjust it to inflation.
But people at minimum wage get special benefits like tax credits and other services like food stamps, letting them go over the poverty hurdle, increasing their total pay in the long run.
Well, actually, from the U.S. News, that source, they actually said that the people who are working on minimum wage with food stamps, with all these benefits from the government, are still below the poverty level. And that's why they chose to even bring up the subject in Congress about raising the minimum wage.
But most businesses, small businesses, cannot afford to hire people at $5.25. They have two options. They'll either raise their prices, which nobody wants, the consumer or the employer, or fire people, which also raises unemployment.
Well, if you're talking about unemployment, let's look at a study that was done by Princeton. They did a study on New Jersey, California, and Pennsylvania, which after they raised the minimum wage, there was no effect on employment. People, actually, the teenagers there, 5% actually increased their job gains. So it actually helped employment, and what they thought there was evidence, but actually from those studies there were proved to be none.
Raising the minimum wage will severely limit the opportunities for the unemployed and the people who have no experience, like teenagers or young adults, causing their options to be employed, to gain experience, to be severely limited.
No, but these businesses, the companies, they'll be raising their standards because of the raise of the minimum wage. They're going to realize that if we're going to have to pay more people more money, we're going to make sure these people work harder, they produce more, their company can have an improvement, so they raise their standards, they make sure these people are working harder, and therefore we have more money in the economy. These people, the poor people, the people on minimum wage, will be actually making enough money to be above the poverty level. Teenagers will be making more money, which account for many of the minimum wage jobs, which will be a good thing for America.
But the employer wants someone with experience. If we raise the minimum wage and someone cannot get experience, which all employers want, they will not be able to get that job, no matter how much you raise it.
They're going to have to learn to have experience. There are people working.
But you need to work to have experience.
But they have already right now. They have the experience. They're hard-working Americans on minimum wage. Believe it or not, teenagers are hard-working Americans on minimum wage. For those people who are working on minimum wage, any of you, $4.25 an hour, I don't think so. I think that if it is raised the minimum wage, if Congress votes on it, it'll be a welcome to everyone.
If we raise the minimum wage, prices go up as well. I would love to see everyone make $100, $1,000 an hour, but if that means I have to pay $30 for like a hamburger and a small Coke, I'm sure no one would want that either.
I'm Lenny Marine.
And I'm Gabriel Negron.
This is Wildcat Crossfire.